Welcome back, listeners, to another powerful episode of BizBlend podcast where business meets mindset, strategy meets soul, and transformation becomes tactical. Now, today we are honored to welcome Donzel Leggett, principal at Destiny Development Delta LLC, former senior executive at Fortune 200 companies, and also a global transformational leader with 32 plus years of experience, listeners. And he's here to share exclusive insights from his upcoming book, Make Your Destiny Happen, a work that merges visionary leadership, practical execution, and personal empowerment. So, whether you are a founder, an executive, or building your first venture, this conversation will challenge how you define destiny, discipline, and also true leadership. So, Donzel, welcome to the show, and I'm really, really honored to have you here with us.
Senna, thank you so much. What an introduction. I'm so happy to be here. This is an awesome day.
Absolutely, absolutely, Donzel. I really love the title, the name of your book. This is something with over so many years of experience. Yeah, I'm not just oversaying, but yeah, I have understood that sometimes, yeah, luck is a part of our journey, but it's mostly that we make our destiny happen. So let's start with this concept itself. It is a bold title, but how do you define this? Because, when we talk about destiny, it's often seen as a fixed or spiritual. A lot of coincidence, a lot of luck, good timing, bad timing. So, how would you define this title?
Yeah, thank you, Senna. It's like you said, a lot of people have the feeling, or they've been taught throughout their lifetime, whether it's in their faith or whatever it is, that destiny is preset, that no matter what they do, their future is set in stone. And my perspective is absolutely not the case. Certainly, there are some aspects of life that are out of our control, but we can't allow ourselves to be fixated on the things that are outside of our control. Um, if we do that, we'll never be able to move forward. We'll be stuck in a cycle of not being able to move forward. I call it a cycle of no destiny control. What we should be focused on is what we can control. And if we focus on those things, and if we look forward to where we want to go long term, and that's the biggest challenge for most people, is forcing themselves to think long term, where can they go? Where do they want to be? My belief is we can make our destinies happen. And I wanted to write this book to make sure and share that perspective with as many people as possible to uplift. We live in a time where it's a lot of division. There's a lot of strife. There's a lot of things that are happening and changing every second that could make people feel small, make people feel insignificant, and make people feel like they have no control. This book is a roadmap to allow them to transform their leadership and take that transformation into a real plan that makes their destiny happen.
And you're right. You are right, Donzel. This is more than relevant, and this is definitely the right time. Um, and are there any specific personal circumstances or moments that made you challenge this narrative of destiny? Did you believe that there is luck, but then something happened and your beliefs were completely changed?
There wasn't a moment where I would say that realization came out. I've always had this perspective, and a lot of it comes from my upbringing in that I had a great grandmother and a grandmother, two very strong women figures in my life that did not have the opportunities that I had in life. They didn't. They had to leave school early. Had to quit school to take care of their families. They had to work very, very hard, menial jobs, jobs that most people in society would look down on. My great grandmother was a wet nurse. My grandmother was a maid. But what I saw from them is this tremendous character and strength and leadership. And I just remember thinking to myself, geez, I have tremendous opportunities and they didn't have those opportunities, and they reinforced it to me, "Hey, you can do anything you want." So I always had this mindset of, "It's in my hands. It's not in the hands of luck." Now, of course, they talk about spirituality and these types of things, but what it kept coming back to me was, if they could go through all the struggles that they had to go through in their life and still have the character they have, if I have these opportunities and I take the things I control, I can make things happen for myself. And so that's the mindset that I always had. But there have been several seminal moments in my life where something difficult happened, something bad happened. And I remember thinking I could allow this to just say, well, that's just life. That's the way it is. That's the way it's supposed to be for me. Or I could say, no, this is an opportunity for me to learn from that and make my own luck happen, make my own opportunities happen by learning from this bad decision I made, from this bad thing that happened to me, from what appeared to be bad luck that occurred, and say, wait a minute, maybe I put myself in the wrong position at the wrong time because decisions I made, things I control that put me at risk for things that I don't control. That's more the mindset that changed for me.
Mm. That is beautifully said, Donza. So many thoughts in my mind, especially coming from such a simple, humble background, and so much to learn from your great grandmother and grandmother. I think no job is small, in the world. No job is small. And secondly, I completely agree with you. It is about shifting the narrative. It's about flipping the narrative. We are not surrendering ourselves to luck or destiny, but we are putting our maybe more than 100% efforts. We are not giving up. And then maybe some things are not in our control, but we are giving our best. So I think that's what makes that balance in there.
Absolutely, Senna. Absolutely.
Great, great. And Donzel, talking about your work, you have led organizations up to 10,000 people, that too across continents. So, what core leadership lessons have made it into your book, which you would like to share today with us?
Absolutely. It's a great question. I love how you started the podcast by addressing whether it's entrepreneurs, business leaders, disruptors, whoever's listening to this that are in that category. Um, a lot of business books are written for the business leader, and then everyday people have to translate it back to them. What I want to do is write a book that was for everyday people that anyone could pick up and learn from and make their destiny happen. But almost all of the stories in the book and how I developed this leadership model all came from leading organizations, having to develop strategies that were innovative and get everyone around the world on the same page to move forward with those strategies. And so the leadership model that I created starts with authenticity, being yourself, being confident in yourself, treating people with love, being accessible to people, making sure holding myself accountable and taking action. What I'll tell you is those things worked no matter where I was, whether I was in India, whether I was in Brazil, whether I was in rural America, Spain, Greece, China, they work. People are the same. People may speak different languages. They may look a little bit different. Their culture may be different, but they all want to be cared for. They all want to be counted. They all want to matter. And they all want someone, especially the leader, to be interested in them. What's most important to them? And that's what I did no matter where I went in the world. And I can tell you, I've had one-on-one conversations, over 50,000 hours of my career I've spent in one-on-one conversations. Over 100,000 hours of my career I've spent talking to people, either in small one-on-one discussions or small groups or large groups, getting to know people and helping them understand I care about you, showing them I care about you. So if there's one thing to take away from this in terms of how to transform your leadership, get to know yourself and be authentic. Let your authentic self come through. When you're authentic with yourself, you can stand. When you're confident and assured in yourself, you can stand strong. And when you hold yourself accountable to take action, to make sure the things you say you do, and you go out and you proactively make yourself available to people, show love to people, especially the people who need it most, who expect it least. That's where you make a difference and where you can transform groups of people, no matter where they are in the world, to be on the same page and pursue a goal or a dream, whether it's destinies for themselves or a transformative organizational strategy that you need everyone to get behind.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because there's so many misconceptions around this, especially in the leadership, that if you are being vulnerable, or you are, you know quote unquote, showing the softer side of yourself, then you are portraying yourself as a weak leader. So what's your opinion on that, Donzel? Especially, you have had so many hours of one-on-one across different cultures, different countries. So what would you
Yeah.
say on this?
I would say it's the exact opposite. To show people love, especially those you don't know and who may think drastically different from you, that you may not even speak the same language, so you don't know if the message is getting across clearly. To bring yourself down and allow your true self to be seen and shown, for allow people to see you make mistakes. That's hard. That's not weak. That what's easier is to put on a facade to show people. What's easier is to not, acknowledge that you can make mistakes. What's easier is to not allow your emotions to get tied in to people. That's easy to do. It's very difficult when you open yourself up. I'll give you a prime example. When I took over an operation that we had a large Spanish speaking population in the United States, and I had a large organization in Mexico as well. I decided that it would be very important for me to learn to speak Spanish if I'm going to be connecting with my team. It's not fair to them that I have to have a translator with them, but
Exactly.
when I'm speaking to everybody else, I'm speaking English. So I challenged myself to do that, but it was very hard. And what I found was that when I started speaking and I made mistakes, but kept going,
They connected.
getting a lot of feedback from everyone saying that they loved that. "Well, why would you like that? That I'm making mistakes. I'm sounding bad." They said, "No, because it shows us that you're willing to make a mistake in front of us. It shows us that you actually do care about us, that you're willing to allow yourself to not look perfect as a vice president in front of all of us. It shows us that you see yourself as one of us, as another human being, willing to speak in our language, even if you don't sound perfect." But I'm not gonna sit there and lie and say it was easy. It was hard. But showing love and being truly accessible is hard. It's not weak, but it is the right way to do things, because those organizations wholeheartedly supported our strategies, gave ideas to make the strategies better. We're not quiet just sitting back, they engaged.
Mm.
That's what it takes. It takes love, it takes being accessible, it takes showing people you care about them.
That's a really heartwarming example. Really heartwarming example, Donzel. Wow. Ah, goodness. Okay. And also, your book is it comprises. It's based on proprietary leadership models. So I'm really curious to know, if you can walk us through a key principle, maybe share a glimpse of that. That could immediately shift how someone leads today.
Yeah, a lot of us, especially in business, have been exposed to different sort of assessments that come in and tell us how to be a better leader. But in my experience, and I've been through many of them, most of them come in to tell you how to be a better leader in your environment, in the environment you're in at that time. They do not really tell you how to really be a better leader for yourself and in any circumstance, and more importantly, how to be a better you. So that was the first thing I wanted to address. The second thing is none of those models really tell you that, okay, what do I do now? How do I actually operationalize this? So I developed this leadership model that, again, I've been working on this for 30 plus, see, 32 plus years. So it's tried and true, experimented, tweaked, and perfected. And basically what it is, I have two models that come together to make the Destiny Development Delta model. And again, what's beautiful is this model I developed and perfected in the business environment, but it works perfectly in personal life. It's made up of two elements. The first element is what's called the A attitudes of leadership. And this model is developed to help you transform your leadership. To transform your leadership, it's what I call the how. How do I operate as a leader? to generate the kind of engagement and confidence that organizations need to move forward, or that I need to move myself forward. And this is really all about the values base that you need, starting with, again, authenticity, getting to know yourself. Don't be someone else. Be yourself and be confident in that self that you are. Learn how to hold yourself accountable. Take action. Be accessible to people and show love to people. Show adoration. And then bring them all together in a culmination that allows you to also not only lead in a strong way, in a great way, but also to make sure, which is important in today's world, how do you still have holistic balance in your life? And how do you have well being in your life? It's not great to be a leader that's out there driving things, but you're suffering inside. Eventually, you'll break down. So you do need that. But once you have transformed your leadership, now what do? That's where the what comes in. And that second piece of the model, that second element is called I lead change. And it's a descriptive acronym that basically provides a roadmap to operationalize your leadership, whether it's developing the life plan that you need to make your destiny happen, or whether it's developing the plan for your organization to be disruptive in whatever business category that you're in. So it's about transforming your leadership, then taking that transformation and doing something about it with this roadmap that we lay out that takes you step by step. Here's what to do and how.
Hmm. So it's the first is how I think it basically throws light a light on working inward, for a leader from inside out. And then I think that will also translate within the teams as well in the culture.
Absolutely. And I've seen it. Like I said, I've seen it. I've led teams where we had different thoughts on how to move forward, again, across continents, across languages. And I had to bring the team together. And I used this model to do that. And like you said, it starts with inside out leadership, transformational leadership, but then it's about how do we inspire the team to see an objective that's bigger than us, that maybe on paper doesn't look like we can accomplish, that maybe everyone else would think we're crazy to even go after something as bold as that. But if you start with that transformational leadership and you show people that you really care about them and you get them to believe and have confidence in themselves and in you and the team, you can inspire people to go after something that seems outrageous. That's really what we're trying to do, whether it's an objective for yourself around your own life. And again, outrageous could be something that's whatever you think it is.
Mhm.
From a business standpoint, it could be disruptive. But getting everyone across the board, whether they're in China or in Brazil or Argentina or Spain, to coalesce around that objective and move forward, that's magical. I've done it many, many times on very difficult objectives. But it can be done if you start with your own transformational leadership, you care about people, and then you follow this roadmap.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, and the second one which you mentioned, it's more about, how well you can embrace disruption, innovation, adversities as well. And this is
Yes.
once again so relevant right now in today's age. When we are seeing globally disruptions and then adversities as well, whether it's economically and maybe other factors as well. So it's really relevant. And also, Donzel, one thing. I mean, you have worked in high performing corporate cultures, which are often results driven. They're very rigid. How do you reconcile that with the inspirational and often emotional language of your leadership model? I mean, is there a risk of it sounding good but failing in practice?
Yeah, the thing I'm really proud of, there's a lot of things I'm proud of around my career, but one of the things I'm very proud of is the fact that no matter where I've been, I have generated results that nobody else was able to generate before or after.
Wow.
So when it comes to results, I'm the guy. So this is all about results. My whole point is you can get results that are outsized from anyone else by caring about people, by really being in touch with yourself, by tying into emotions. And there are several stories in my book that bring this to life that are truly, incredible. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, man, that really happened. But it did. That really happened. So there's several stories I had where, we took average or below average organizational performance and literally within months turned it around. Turned it around. Again, the key is, do you believe that if you can tap into what each individual, what's important to them, and you can figure out a way to then tie the organization's goals for them to see that there's a path and how that helps them with their individual goals. If you can do that, then yes, emotions are important. But if you don't take the time to do that, if you don't take the time to get to know people, if you don't take the time to understand what's important to them, if you don't take the time to truly allow yourself to be open so they can trust you, if you don't do any of those things, then yeah, you'll never be able to figure out what is that connection. You know, could you luck into it here or there? Absolutely. But if you want something tried and true, my model works. It works not only for improving people's well being, in their balance, in their lives, which I cared about people's lives on our team, their families, but it also drives outsized results in a world in which results matter more than ever.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting, interesting. I'm so looking forward to, go through those examples, and as well as I hope for all the listeners as well. So before we wrap up, Donzel, if our listeners they would like to get a hold of your book and also they would like to connect with you, what would be the best way?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you, Senna, for having me on your podcast. This has been fantastic, and I really appreciate it. We do have a website. It's a www.destinydevdelta.com. That's www.destinydevdelta.com. And if you visit our website, you'll not only be able to understand when the book's going to be out. Right now, we're targeting August, probably August 26th will be kind of the release date. But you can also sign up to be on our newsletter to get information, understand when podcasts. I have a podcast going to be coming out very soon. Um, and just kind of be an insider, kind of know what's happening. You can also sign up to get your copy personally signed. So there's a lot you can do by visiting our website. Again, www.destinydevdelta.com. And then if you're on LinkedIn, watch for our posts. You can go to look for me, Donzel Leggett. You'll see that pretty much posting every day, providing updates on what we're doing as well. So that's kind of how to find what we're up to and what we're doing. We're again, I feel like it's a mission that I have to help people find what's most important to them and make it happen. Like you said, I think this day right now, the time we're in is a very challenging time for a lot of people. You would think there's been so many developments, like we have all the information ever developed in the world is at our fingertips. Think about that. That provides a lot of power, but it also provides opportunities for people to feel defeated, feel small, because there's a lot of bad things out there as well. Um, we have AI that's threatening people. There's so many different things. We need hope more than ever. And that's what this book is about. Yes, it's for business leaders who want to drive differential results, but it's for people who want to find happiness in their life while achieving the destiny that they want. Please visit us at www.destinydevdelta.com and check it out.
Oh, wow, great, great. I absolutely love your conviction, Donzel, and I'll make sure to have all the links in the show notes for our listeners. And thank you so, so much. I believe, Donzel, your book, Make Your Destiny Happen, isn't, as you rightly said, just not about professional wins, but also it's a call to reclaim our path with purpose and power. So thank you so, so much.
Thank you, Seth. I really appreciate you. And thanks for what you're doing. This is needed.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
To all the listeners out there, if you are building something that matters, maybe from the boardroom to your living room, this book and Don's journey, his insights, his conviction it will push you to stop waiting and start creating your own destiny. So don't forget to check out the show notes to connect with Chancel. And also don't forget to follow BizBlend for more such conversations like this, where bold ideas meet grounded execution. And as always, keep blending business with what really matters. This is a host, Sana, signing off. Thank you.